Hi, I'm Catherine, certified nutrition consultant with Foods That Heal You and Foods That Heal You CBD. Welcome to your Health First Weight Loss series. In this series, you are going to learn many different guidelines that you can apply to your current healthy diet to help take your weight loss to the next level. If whatever diet plan you're on isn't working for you, if you implement these principles, even if it's just some of these principles and some of these guidelines, it's really going to help you with those weight loss efforts, and it will help you with long term to keep the weight off. This is not going to be a diet plan that I'm pitching or anything. This is really to help you with your healthy diet to take it to the next level, okay? If you are looking for healthy recipes, healthy meal plan, how to learn to make healthier choices, you can get a copy of my Foods That Heal book. I have a copy of this on my website or on Amazon. I have a meal plan in here that will help get you started. I also have my 21-day detoxification program right here, which you've probably read about if you're watching the series already anyway. But anyway, my detox, all of these recipes that I use in my programs are all healthy, balanced. I've got vegan options, non-vegan options. So I'm not going to be pitching you any specific diet, okay? I just want to be clear on that. So this first video, what we're going to be talking about are fat storage triggers. So things that are going to trigger fat storage, which obviously if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want that, all right? So that's going to be this first video here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to go through these relatively quickly so this video isn't ridiculously long, but you will have class notes next to this video, a downloadable PDF with these different things that you can look at, okay? But I have them on the whiteboard here for the video as well. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, the first two that we're going to talk about are not really specific diet. The first one is stress. I want to bring up these two first things initially because they can have the biggest impact on your diet no matter what you're eating, okay? If you're eating all the right foods, all the healthy foods, if you have super high stress in your life, your body's going to go into fat storage mode because it thinks it's starving. If you think about it, and I have a whole adrenal stress series that if you have high stress in your life, you're gonna wanna watch that, okay? But if you have high stress, what happens, it's like you're being chased by the bear, your cortisol levels go up. You don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't go to the bathroom, you're in high gear mode. And your body thinks, oh my gosh, I'm being chased by a bear. I'm not gonna be eating for a while here, so I better use what I have and ration it. So that takes you into fat storage mode, and you don't want that, okay? So high stress is definitely gonna work against you. I strongly recommend my adrenal stress series where I give you 9 tips to reduce stress if you're struggling with that. Another thing you can do is start taking CBD hemp oil that can help bring those cortisol levels down. So it's really about reducing the stress so that you can get those cortisol levels down, because high cortisol levels tell your body to start storing fat, and you also won't be able to sleep, okay? So stress is the first one. The second one is gonna be food combining. I have a whole page on my website and video on this. I apply this principle to all of my recipes. It's where you put food groups together that digest well together. When nothing else works for weight loss, this works for people, okay? I have seen it time and time again. Before I started using this principle, my diets and detox diet and recipes worked really well. Once I started implementing proper food combining into the recipes, it took weight loss to the next level for people. So what happens is when you don't properly food combine, when you, for example, have meat and bread would be a perfect, or meat and rice. Let's say chicken and rice. That's a great example. It's typically people think that's healthy to have chicken and rice for dinner. The problem is you can spike your insulin up to 300% when you combine those two food groups. And insulin, as we will talk about in the hormone video, insulin tells your body to store fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to trigger that insulin. You don't want to trigger that fat storage. So proper food combining can make a massive difference, okay? So I have a video series just on that because it's such a big topic. But I wanted to just list it out here so you know the different things that are going to trigger fat storage, and that would be combining food groups that don't digest well together. That food sits there, rots, ferments, turns into fat, all right? The third thing, now we're gonna get into some of the dietary things. So tap water. The reason tap water can cause fat triggering mode is because it has fluoride and chlorine in it. Fluoride and chlorine block iodine, essential for the thyroid, okay? Sorry, I lost my words there. For the thyroid, okay? So you need iodine in the thyroid. The thyroid is like the gas pedal to the body. If you're consuming tap water with chlorine and fluoride, you are blocking the receptors in your thyroid for that iodine that it needs for the gas pedal, for your metabolism. So you might not have a thyroid problem, you might have a tap water problem, all right? So that's tap water. So I have a free mini video series getting started. You can watch which water is the best to drink that I recommend, okay? Number 4 here, we've got MSG. MSG is a huge problem, and it's in a lot of different foods. It's not only in restaurant foods, it's also in processed prepackaged foods. Watch out for things like vegetable broth. If you see yeast extract, that is MSG. If you see whey, that's MSG. Natural flavors can be MSG. So you need to know what's in your food when you're consuming it, when you're getting pre-packaged, and when you go to restaurants. Here's why. MSG is a neurotoxin, and it can spike your insulin up to 300%. Again, we don't want to be producing all that insulin because it tells your body to store fat. So be careful. Even healthy foods can have MSG in it, and you may not know it. I have an article on my website, Hidden Names for MSG. There's a ton of hidden names for MSG. MSG personally makes me really sick. I get headaches and really tired for like 4 hours after I have it. Okay, so MSG is going to be really important. That's a fat storage trigger. And then we have preservatives. Okay, so preservatives are going to irritate the bowel. They're going to clog the digestive system. They're going to put your body in fat storage mode, and they're also going to destroy the healthy gut bacteria. So preservatives, and they're of course in everything. If you look at a food label and you don't know what the word is, find out, because if it's a preservative, that preservative could be really doing a lot of damage to your gut. And when your gut is confused, and when you're having irritable bowel symptoms and not digesting food, it's going to rot and ferment, and it's going to trigger fat storage. It's going to ultimately tell your body to go into fat storage mode. So you want to avoid preservatives and buy fresh as much as possible, okay? The next one, fructose. Fructose is like literally pouring fat into your body, okay? It majorly increases insulin production. It confuses the body, and it's a type of sugar that is like 10 times or more sweeter than actual sugar. It's an extract. It's really, really unhealthy. So when you see high fructose corn syrup especially, run the other direction for health reasons and because it's going to trigger fat storage majorly, okay? A lot of people think, well, fructose is okay because it's from the fruit. Well, anytime you extract something like that, there's going to be consequences. And when you extract fructose, you're concentrating that sugar. If you eat an apple, it has the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants. It has everything needed to buffer the insulin, to nourish the body. But if you take that fructose, just the sugar out, you have a whole different food item there. And it's not even food the way they do it, because they're getting it from corn. So don't be fooled by that either. It's not coming from an apple, okay? Diet drinks. Diet drinks have fake sweeteners, artificial sweeteners. You want to avoid artificial sweeteners because they trick the body. You get this sweet taste in your tongue, and your body knows, hey, I got something sweet here. I'm going to produce insulin, because we need insulin for sweet stuff, right? So you're really not, it's like you're tricking the body, but not. The brain is smart enough to say, hey, this tastes like sugar. Let's produce insulin because we need to go ahead and digest or break down the sugar. But again, if you recall, insulin is a fat storage hormone. So although it doesn't have calories in your fake sweeteners or your diet drinks, it's still going to tell your body to start storing fat, to produce insulin and store fat, right? So that's really important. So it's not just diet drinks, it's all artificial sweeteners. Fiber. Okay, if you don't have enough fiber, then again, here we go with this insulin thing. If you can see a common denominator here with a lot of this stuff has everything to do with insulin, because insulin tells your body to store fat. If you don't have enough fiber, like I said with the apple, if you just drink the apple juice or extract fructose from corn, you don't have that fiber to buffer that insulin response. So that's the first reason fiber. But the second reason fiber is so important is because it cleanses the bowel. It keeps your bowel healthy. If you have a clogged up congested digestive system, and you'll know this because you'll have gas, bloating, constipation, acid reflux. If you have that, then your body is going to turn all of that junk in your system. The waste, the toxic waste, is going to end up on your waist. Okay? It's just really that simple. So you want to make sure that you're consuming a high fiber diet. 97% of the population is fiber deficient. Yet everybody's focused on protein. It's like only 3% of the population is protein deficient. We need more fiber. So if you're trying to lose weight and get healthy, you need more fiber. Dairy. Okay, dairy clogs the digestive system, the organs, your tissue. It gives you sinus problems. Dairy is going to definitely be a fat storage trigger. And it's because it's just clogging the whole system. Think about this. Your liver is your fat burning organ. And if you're clogging up your liver with a bunch of dairy, and dairy has antibiotics, it has mucus, it's just really unhealthy. I have a whole article of all the different reasons. And even if you're getting organic, it doesn't matter because it's still processed, pasteurized, homogenized. It's still allowed to have a certain percent of different unhealthy things in it. So it's the biggest thing though is that it's clogging. So I challenge you, if you're consuming dairy in your diet, I challenge you for 30 days, get it out of your diet, and I can almost guarantee that you will see such a huge difference. You won't ever want to go to Dairy Queen again. Now you might be tempted. And it's not that you can never have dairy, but if you're trying to lose weight, dairy is going to sabotage that weight loss for sure, okay? Protein. Too much protein is going to increase insulin response. So we got these high protein diets, right? Well, having enough protein is right, but if you go over the amount of protein that your body needs, that extra protein will actually increase insulin response. And it will also not digest and be utilized, and it can turn into poison in the body. This is a lot of reason why one of the reasons people end up with food allergies. Food allergies are primarily inability to break down proteins. If you're consuming too much protein, you have an excess and the body's like, what am I going to do with this extra protein? And so it can turn it into a poison essentially to your body, and it can cause your body to go into fat storage mode. So too much of anything really is going to be unhealthy. You can drink too much water and it can do damage to the body. So too much of anything is never a good thing. You always want to just think balance and try to follow a lot of these guidelines. And you can even check box off the list that when you print it out, check box off the things that you're doing and or not doing, so you can see that all the different things that you can actually apply and change that can help you make a difference. All right, number 11, mineral deficiency. We absolutely need minerals for our cells to function properly. And one key mineral a lot of people have probably heard of is iodine. So iodine nourishes the thyroid. But you don't want just iodine, you want a full spectrum of trace minerals. The thyroid needs more than just iodine. Iodine is terrific, but I don't personally recommend just running out and get iodine. You really need the whole thing. You need, like, for example, the whole apple. You don't want to just take vitamin C out of the apple. You need the whole apple. There's a reason that it's all in the apple. It works, the nutrients work synergistically. So I strongly recommend a broad spectrum of trace minerals so that you get everything, and something that's going to have iodine in it, like kelp. And I say kelp kind of hesitantly just because a lot of kelp out there is contaminated. Seaweed is good. You just want to make sure that it's really been lab tested. I have a daily all-in-one greens that has seaweed in it, which is high in iodine, and that's been all lab tested, every ingredient. So just make sure that you get something that's going to be lab tested. All right, hidden sugars. So hidden sugars, a lot of people are unaware of some of the places sugars can be hidden, but sugars are going to trigger fat storage, again, because of that insulin, all right, because insulin spikes. So things like honey. Yes, honey can have its health benefits and be healthy, but it's still sugar. So you have to kind of think in terms of, the pros and the cons of something. So honey might be a healthier sweetener, but it's still going to trigger fat storage. You have other things like deli meat. Deli meat often has hidden sugar, and you're going to know if sugar's added if you see OSE, like at the end, OSE, dextrose, maltodextrose. Anything with an OSE at the end is a form of sugar, sucrose, maltose. There are hundreds, literally, of names of sugar. So you're going to want to make sure that you're looking out for hidden sugars. Yogurt would be another one. There's a lot of hidden sugars in yogurt, and you can say, well, they put the sugar in so that the bacteria has something to eat while it ferments. Well, I have news for you. The commercial yogurts, they don't do that. They're flash pasteurizing those. And as we talked about earlier, dairy's not a good option anyway, but they flash pasteurize it and then they add sugar after the fact so that it tastes good to you. So don't be fooled by things like yogurt. That's a really big one that people get caught up on. All right, grains. So if you're trying to lose weight, grains can definitely be a problem for fat storage, again, because of that insulin, the glycemic level. Now, there are some grains that are very healthy. You get nutrients from grains. I don't recommend eliminating entire food groups. I can get caught up in the whole low carb movement, but carbs include grains and vegetables. So carbs is a broader spectrum. I'm zooming in here on just grains like rice, quinoa, oatmeal, things like that, okay? If you get a grain that, for example, quinoa is gonna be a better grain because it's gluten-free, and because it's also a whole protein and it's higher in fiber. So anytime you have higher fiber, more nutrients, you're always gonna have better results with weight loss. So real food that you can pick off a tree is always gonna be better. But if you're really struggling with weight loss, I would recommend just stay away from the grains while you're trying to lose weight and focus on the other fruits, vegetables. Beans are okay, but the grains, they can definitely cause people a problem, so you might wanna stay away from those. Overeating, that can obviously cause weight gain and trigger fat storage. I think this is really common sense, but I did have to bring it up, okay? Anytime you overeat, it burdens your digestive system. You can't possibly digest all that food at once, so it rots, ferments, turns into sugar, turns into fat, okay? Now, if you were to spread that food throughout the day, let's say I had one giant meal for dinner, and that's all I ate all day, versus spreading it out into 3 meals the next day. That day that you ate it all at once, it's not going to be utilized by the body nearly as well. A lot of that will likely turn into fat. Whereas if you had 3 meals, same exact food, same calories and everything, you're gonna do a lot better. So make sure when you sit down at your meal that you're actually paying attention to what you're eating. Make sure that you're, focused, relaxed, calm. When you're stressed out when you're eating, your body's not going to digest that food. So there we have that digestion problem again, which triggers fat storage. So that's huge, okay? Take your time when you eat. Don't run around the house with your sandwich in your hand. Okay, undereating. Undereating is another big problem. When you undereat, your body goes into fat storage because it's in starvation mode. Now, there's a difference between undereating and, for example, juice fasting or water fasting. Those are completely different. I'm going to go through those in the intermittent fasting topic, but undereating means I'm just eating maybe half of my day's worth of food that I need. When you do that, your body thinks it's starving. It's going to take that one apple or that one piece of pizza or whatever, and it's going to save it all throughout the day. You'd be much better going ahead and just eating a healthy, balanced diet, okay? So that covers 15 things that trigger fat storage. I would recommend print out that list that I have next to this video, check mark off the different things that you are currently doing, and then start implementing some new things in here and check mark them off and see if you can see a difference. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna notice a difference on how you feel and your weight loss efforts when you implement these different things. And again, check out my video series, my Foods That Heal book, and my Detox program. Those will really give you the tools and set you up to implement every single one of these guidelines. All right, so thanks for watching this. I will see you in the next video.